How you doing, YouTube? Noble Horace here, and today we have episode 1 of Yugi-Talk, where basically I talk about Yu-Gi-Oh related things when I'm not doing like a deck profile or a duel video or whatever. So this episode of Yugi-Talk, we're going to be talking about what 5 cards I would like to get toonified and incorporated into the Toon archetype. So I'm not making up cards. I am changing their effects just a little bit, except one card where I changed its effect a lot. So yeah, let's get this started, and I'll tell you about my thought process making up these 5 Toon cards. So the first card they should toonify is Toon Battle Fader. It's going to keep its original, stats, and its effect says cannot be normal summon slash set. Cannot be special summoned unless you control a face-up Toon world. When an opponent's monster declares an attack that targets a face-up Toon monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, then it becomes the end phase of this turn. If this card is special summoned with this effect, banish it when it leaves the field. So, I decided to toonify Battle Fader and change its effect a little bit just to, give support for the weaker, well, not weaker, but the other Toon monsters that are not Toon Dark Magician Girl, that say when this card is summoned you cannot declare an attack, blah blah blah. So yeah, that leaves them open for, your opponent to go into like bigger monsters with bigger plays and like swing over them, and then Toon Battle Fader just comes in and just says no. And not only does he doesn't negate the battle phase, he ends the turn like automatically. Like no main phase 2 for you. It is. I really like it. I don't think it's that broken because you can't just run Toon Battle Fader generically. You need to special summon it by controlling Toon World, so it only fits into Toon decks. Alright, so next card. Toon Caius the Shadow Monarch. Cannot be normal summon slash set. Cannot be special summoned unless you control a face-up Toon world. Must first be special summoned from your hand by tributing the same number of monsters required for a tribute summon, normally 1. This card cannot attack the turn it is special summoned. If Toon World is on the field, if Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. When this card is special summoned, target one card on the field, banish that target, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent if it was a dark monster. So I didn't really change its effect much. I didn't really change it at all. I just added all that Toon errata, just because Toon Kai's the Shadow Monarch would really fit as, a Toon monster because he'd be easier to drop on the field as opposed to, using up your normal summon. You have a special summon. So say you can Toon Mermaid into Toon Caius and then banish one card on the field, and then you still have your normal summon, so that'd be really cool. Or if last turn you scapegoated and then, special summon Toon Caius, so that's cool. I just like Toon Caius the Shadow Monarch because the way you get on the field is a special summon and not a normal summon, so that's why I think he fits. So the next card I think should be toonified is Toon Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. You must pay 500 life points to declare an attack with this monster. If Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target up to 2 monsters in their graveyard. Banish those targets. Your opponent cannot banish cards from either player's graveyard. So, this is just another level 4 Toon monster. It is special in the way that when you summon Kaiku, or Toon Kaiku, you can swing with him the turn you summon him. So that's really cool. And the way I chose to balance that out is you must pay 500 life points to declare an attack with that monster. That's fine. And then I added the thing, while your opponent controls no Toon monsters, blah blah blah, but your opponent's not going to control Toon monsters, who's going to run Toons. I I kept the whole your opponent cannot banish cards from either player's graveyard thing from there because that's really cool, and I didn't really change its actual, Kaiku to Ghost Destroyer effect, so yeah, I really like it. The next card is the big one, Toon Horace. The card I'm tunifying is Dark Horace. So let's retune Horace's effect. Cannot be normal summoned / set. Cannot be special summoned unless you control a face-up Toon world. Must first be special summoned from your hand by tributing the same number of monsters required for a tribute summon, normally 2. This card cannot attack the turn it is special summoned. You must pay 500 life points to declare an attack with this monster. If Toon world on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. This card can attack your opponent directly unless they control Toon monster. If they do control one, this card must target a Toon monster for its attacks once per turn. After resolving a spell card that was activated during your opponent's main phase, you can target one level 4 Toon monster in your graveyard, special summon that target, ignoring the summoning conditions. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. So, the deck needs a way to recycle Toon monsters in the graveyard, because if your opponent's playing really well and like killing all your Toon monsters, sending them to the grave, you really don't do much with them besides possibly Call the Haunting them. But Call the Haunted is not like a Toon specific, it's not a card that's specific to the Toon archetype, so I made Toon Horace. I changed his effect a little bit. He originally said target one level 4 dark monster in your graveyard, blah blah blah. But I changed it to one level 4 Toon monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and I added the clause ignoring the summoning conditions for cards like
Hey, Patrick.
What?
I thought of something funnier than 24.
Let me hear it.
25.
Toon Mermaid, because I believe that has a summoning condition on it. So it targets any other level 4 Toon monster, and then it has that sweet little thing for Mermaid. So yeah. And now the last card, the one I could actually say is inspired by like 2 different cards, and is actually a custom card that I thought of for the Toon archetype, is Magical Citadel of the Toon World. Okay. Its effect: send this card to the graveyard if you control no face-up Toon world. When this card is activated, all counters currently on the field are now also treated as Toon counters. When a counter is placed on a card on the field, except this card, place Toon counters on this card equal to the number of counters placed. Each time a spell card is activated, place one Toon counter on this card. You must have this many Toon counters on the field to activate and resolve these effects. 1 or more. If this card or a face-up Toon world on your side of the field would be destroyed, you can remove all Toon counters on the field instead. 3 or more. You can remove all Toon counters on the field to inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to the number of face-up Toon cards you control times 400. 5 or more. During either player's turn, when a spell/trap card or a monster effect is activated while you control a face-up Toon world, you can remove all Toon counters on the field, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. 7 or more. Once per turn, during your standby phase, target 2 Toon monsters in your graveyard, shuffle both into the deck, then draw 2 cards. And 9 or more. You contribute monsters from either player's side of the field to activate the effects of Toon monsters you possess. So this is the combination of 2 cards, Magical Citadel of Endymion, and that one Crystal Beast field spell. I believe it's called Ancient City of Rainbow Ruins. Yeah, it's called Ancient City of Rainbow Ruins. So I wanted to add something really unique to the Toon archetype, and I think the whole mechanic of all counters on the field are now also treated as Toon counters, using other counters on the field, say for like Shard of Greed, and what else uses counters? Like your opponent's breakers, and what else uses counters? I was gonna say Gateway to the Six, but they don't use counters anymore because Gateway to the Six is banned. I mean they do play 6 a.m. United, and yeah, but that doesn't usually stay on the field long. But whatever. So I needed another way to place counters on Magical Citadel of Toon World. So I decided each time a spell card is activated, place one Toon counter on this card. So you could go Magical Citadel of Toon World, and then play Toon Table Contents, Toon Table of Contents, Toon Table of Contents, and then that's 3 or more right there. And then you can remove all 3 to do burn damage. So the first 1 or more effect I really liked because it's a Toon archetype specific way to protect Toon World, and like this card in Toon World. It doesn't protect your Toon monsters, but it protects Toon World. So that's really good. The 3 or more, this is kind of the Gaga Cowboy of the thing. They already have something like that. That's Toon Cannon Soldier, but I like it better here in Magical Citadel of the Toon World because it actually depends on how many Toon cards you control, and then you can do significantly much more effect damage with that. 5 or more, I basically turn Magical Citadel of Toon World into Infernity Barrier, for Toons. So that's cool. And 7 or more, I basically turn it into Daigusto Emerald, but instead of drawing 1 card, but instead of shuffling in 3 and drawing 1, you're shuffling in 2, drawing 2. So that's pretty cool. And you don't need to remove all your Toon counters for that effect, and you also don't need to remove all your Toon counters for the effect of you contribute monsters from either player's side of the field to activate the effects of Toon monsters you possess. If you don't quite know what that means like you know how some Toon cards say must first be special summoned from your hand by tributing the same number of monsters required for a tribute summon. I basically made it so that any monster on the field you can tribute to special summon your Toon Blue Eyes by, taking away 2 monsters your opponent controls. So, like, Lava Golem style, except, it's a big Toon monster that comes on your side of the field, not their side of the field. I didn't want to make this entirely broken, so the way I did that was the 1 or more, 3 or more, or 5 or more effects, you can only activate it by removing all Toon counters on the field. So, it's not like they stay there all the time and just be like, oh, blah. It's, you have to think about using Magical Citadel of Toon World. So, yeah, those are the 5 cards I wanted, in my opinion, that would really fit into the Toon archetype. Of course, I'm not saying, oh, these cards are absolutely freaking necessary for the deck, blah blah blah. Konami needs to make these, blah blah blah. I know Konami's not gonna make it. I know no one's gonna listen to me. I just did it for fun. I just wanted to tell you guys, just so I can hear about what you think should go into the Toon archetype, because Toons are not really competitive, and I'm not really trying to make them competitive right now. But if you want me to think of more ways to make Toons actually competitive and, dare I say, broken, leave a comment down below and let me know, and I'll get back to you, and who knows. So this has been a really cool episode of Yugi-Talk. I hope you liked it. I'm Boy Russ, and I'm signing out. Peace.